Well, hello everyone. It's Mike here. I just want to welcome you back to Mr. Cast Iron and Weekends with Mr. Cast Iron. I got my sidekick here, Mrs. Cast Iron, to keep me in line. So, yeah, that's what I thought. So, it's lucky you're here. I'm surprised you showed up on time. You know, you've been dragging your feet. So, anyway, good to see everybody. We got quite a few people here in the chat room, but boy, we've been looking forward to tonight's show. We've got a gentleman I've been looking forward to speaking to. So let me go ahead and pull him on. And how you doing there, Mr. Josh?
How are you? How are you? Unfortunately, I don't have Mrs. Babe to keep me in line tonight, so I don't know what you're going to get from me. It might be crazy.
You know, I mean, she's pretty good at it. It's probably enough here to keep us both in line, I'm going to say. So,
am I a babe?
Yeah, you're a babe.
Okay.
Hey, she's got a story to tell about that. You know, when we first met, we've been married how long? Too long? A long time? Pretty good while. Huh?
No.
Let's see.
Just
we dated 2012, I guess, wasn't it? And then we married in 2014. So we've been married 7 years. But my stepson, he would always, well, I'll tell you the story. He got in trouble with one of his girlfriends because he called her by a different girl's name. And
I hate it when that happens.
Oh, yeah. So he was sitting in the living room. We were talking about it. I said, well, son, let me tell you. I said, what you've got to do, you've just got to call them all baby. That way you'll never do that. Now, you'll always, it gives you time to think of what her name is. And Teresa looked at me and she said, oh, I thought you called me baby. I just thought that was sweet. Now I see why you did.
Yeah.
So I kind of got myself in trouble there, you know.
Yes, she did.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, man, good to have you. You care to introduce yourself to our guest here?
So my name is Josh of the YouTube channel, The Cooking Cop and Babe. Normally, we film myself and my wife, Babe, whose real name is Bethany. Unfortunately, Babe, she had surgery about 2 weeks ago or so. There's been some complications, so she doesn't feel too good. She has to have another surgery here coming up, so she unfortunately is resting right now, but I didn't want to miss tonight. I've been watching Mr. Cast Iron, all the live streams and stuff like that. So I'm excited to be here. We've been doing YouTube for way too long now. Yeah. And so we're excited to be here. We're excited to talk to the folks. A lot of people in the chat. I know a lot of people in the chat. I've met a lot of people in the chat personally. So yeah, it's a good group of folks in here, and we're excited.
Yeah, no doubt. And we just want to welcome everybody here in the chat room. Gosh, we got Babe says, hello, everyone. I'm here in the sidelines. So
she's here on the sidelines.
There we go. So, yeah, let me just kind of do a quick rundown here. We got, gosh, I don't know, man. We got Papa Texas, looks like Grill Sergeant. Little Eric, are you familiar with Little Eric there, Josh? Down in the island of Trinidad and Tobago. He's
you mean Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline?
No,
absolutely.
Oh no. This is another little young fella named Eric from John Zagdeo. Yeah, so you'll have to check him out. Yeah, he's really cool.
I learn something every day. Stephen and Jacqueline, we've known forever.
Yeah. Stephen's my moderator, actually. Yeah. We just want to thank Stephen. First of all, thanks, Stephen, for being our moderator here tonight. And we got Grill Sergeant, looks like popped in. Dutchy Cooking over in England. Good to have Steve with us. Mrs. Cast Iron.
Grill Sergeant's about 25 minutes away from my house. If he acts up right now, I might have to get in the car and I might have to get my Prius and drive over there.
Your Prius, huh? Ginger Snap Kitchen. Stephanie's popped in here. Looks like we got Craig from Behind the Garage Barbecue. Oh, gosh, who else? Cooking with Bobby Joe. Papa Texas, I said that. Yeah, okay. I got him earlier. I ain't gonna miss Papa if I can help it. We got Mary Dub. That's a new one for us. So good to have you with us, Mary. Who else? Pinch Cooking. Lana, good to see you. Daddy Dutch has popped in. Good to have Kent from way up in the Iowa country. Who else here? Teresa, you're gonna have to help me out now.
I'm looking.
Let's see. Stephen and Jacqueline. Grumpy old gringo. Good to have Grumpy with us. GOG, we call him for short, right? So I don't want to miss anybody here real quick. Mark T. Old Garden Gnome up in the great state of Maine. Good to have Mark with us tonight. Oh, gosh. Who else here real quickly? Man, they're popping in here for you, Josh.
Well, a couple people, and you got to excuse me. So I got my camera right here. I got my laptop right here. I want to read some of the comments, but I want to look at the folks. I want to read the comments. I want to look at the folks.
Yeah, I know how that goes. So good deal. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to run a quick banner here real quick. Let's see. Tonight's show is brought to you by How to YouTube Right. So, folks, if you want to learn how to YouTube right, be sure and check that out. There's many of us that are part of that program. Also, Uncle Steve Shake is a promoter of our show. So we're going to be doing a giveaway tonight.
And we love Uncle Steve.
Oh, we love Uncle Steve. So if you guys will hang in here.
Uncle Steve in person. He's a fantastic human. Love him.
Yeah. Man, he does a great job for this community. I mean, he loves the barbecue community and people all around. But I tell you, he's really been good to us. You know, he said, you know, hey, Mike, if you want to do some giveaways or whatever, you know, to promote on your show, certainly do that. So he's been very good about that, and we certainly appreciate that. But anyway, once again, we just want to thank our moderator, Stephen, with Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline. Tonight's show is brought to you by howtobarbecueright.com and also Uncle Steve Shake. So be sure and did I say how to barbecue right?
I think you
how to YouTube right. I'm thinking
how to YouTube right.
Yeah, thank you, Teresa. Now you see why I have her here, don't you, Josh? So,
I understand.
Well, all right, let's get into the show a little bit and kind of get to know you a little better. I mean, I know, first of all, I just want to say thank you. I got the background here of Back the Blue Flag, and I know that you're an officer, and we certainly appreciate your service.
Well, thank you.
You bet. I know it's a tough life. It's there's there's good and bad and all of it. I know there's a lot of disrespect from time to time, but then I know there's a lot that I'm sure that you could say that you get a lot of respect from as well.
Absolutely. So I joined law enforcement in 2005 when I was 24 years old. And so I've been on since 2005, and I've seen a lot of changes, you know, waves go up and down and stuff like that. We're in an interesting time now, and hopefully, you know, the pendulum swings back, you know, the other way, that people think differently. I mean, I don't really know what to say about that, but I feel like it's an honorable profession. Any first responder, doctors, teachers, nurses, firefighters, you know, these are all tough jobs. And so, and I feel like, you know, but they're necessary jobs. So
absolutely. Yeah. Talking about Uncle Steve, there he is. So good to have Steve with us tonight. So, hey, Steve, while I got you in the chat room here, I know you're doing a Thanksgiving package. I noticed that on YouTube, or not YouTube, but on Facebook earlier. Is that something that we might could package up for tonight's show on our giveaway, or do I need to just go ahead and do the competition package? So just leave us a chat here. Either one's fine. But yeah, no, it's certainly, you know, I know it's rough. I had a nephew, that was, a sergeant, in a small town from where we live. And matter of fact, I mean, it's well known because there was a massive shooting there at one time, Jonesboro, Arkansas. They had a school shooting several years back. But anyway, my nephew it was really a weird deal. I'm the baby out of 6 children, and next to my oldest brother. There's about 21 years difference between all of us, and next to my oldest brother ended up getting. Steve says the Thanksgiving special, so good deal.
Uncle Steve is always there for the folks. Let me tell you, when Dave and I got married, every placemat at, I got 2 Uncle Steve stories. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
every placemat at the wedding had a custom Uncle Steve shake bottle with our picture on it, wedding bells, the date, everything like that. That was one thing, but that's nothing compared to the next story. When I was going through chemotherapy, I was in the hospital for 9 weeks. And that was in the height of the pandemic where you couldn't have visitors and stuff like that. Uncle Steve sent me about 300 bottles of shake with my face on it that said, "Doctors and nurses, take care of this guy. We love him. This is Uncle Steve." And he sent me a massive box, like huge packages. And he said, "Hey, you're going to bring these into the hospital when you go to the hospital. And every doctor, nurse, janitor, anybody you see, you're going to hand them this bottle, and you're going to be like," I had people from other floors coming into my room, and I had chemicals. Like, I was by myself, like nobody could come in my room. I had like hardcore, like, stay away from me. People were knocking on the door and like, "Hey, are you the guy that's giving away the seasoning and the shake?"
Yeah, wow. That's awesome.
And Uncle Steve did that for me out of the kindness of his heart. So I will never forget that.
Yeah.
Uncle Steve is amazing.
That is
great guy.
Very kind.
I'm gonna have to send him my Skillet head logo up here in the top right hand corner. Maybe I can get him to put my old Skillet head on a bottle every now and then.
So sweet.
Yeah, it is.
So kind.
He's great. And let me tell you, I was the star of the whole hospital. I'll tell you another story. The hospital food is not good. It's not good. To be perfectly frank with you. Okay.
Right.
I mean, we just play around on YouTube, but it's not good. So once the hospital chef found out that we were handing out Uncle Steve shake to everybody and that we were vocal about the point that the food wasn't good, the head chef of the hospital came in my room and was like, "Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm the head chef. Who is Uncle Steve? And what is going on here? And what can I do?"
That is awesome.
Did he start shaking a little on your food?
No, I mean, I always had Uncle Steve's to put on the explosive food that they serve. So
that's great.
Yeah, good deal. Looks like Grumpus has popped in. We got Booger with air fryer recipes with Booger 500. So good to have Booger with us.
I think it's Booger's birthday today.
I was going to say, I think today's her 55th birthday. So happy birthday, Booger.
I think it's Booger's 21st birthday today. I don't know.
So happy birthday to Booger. So good deal. I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, while we're talking about Steve, let me just kind of share real quick the package, what we've got going on with him, and show everybody just exactly what we're going to have tonight. Where's it at?
Oh, no. You weren't prepared.
Maybe I wasn't prepared. Well, anyway, it's going to be the Thanksgiving package, so we'll do that, and Steve will take care of that. So I messed that up there, didn't I? So good.
You got that on there too.
All right. Well, anyway. Nobody's perfect, so we messed that one up, but that's okay. Hey, let's get to your channel a little bit and kind of talk a little bit about that. And, I forgot to finish my story a while ago about my brother, but my brother ended up contracting pancreatic cancer, and he lasted about 6 weeks with his journey. And oddly enough, his son, my nephew, ended up getting pancreatic cancer too about 13 months later, and he ended up passing away. But he was a police officer down in Jonesboro, and I stayed with him pretty much the whole time during that process, and it was just unbelievable. But man, the community, I'm a big old boy. I got a big heart, and I'm kind of tough on the outside, but soft in the middle. I'm kind of like an M&M peanut or something, But man, I tell you what, I cried when we went through because the fire department, they had their ladder truck with the flag sticking out when we come through in the procession, and wow, it was just unbelievable. It rained the whole time. We're originally from Kennett, Missouri. You may be familiar with Kennett, Missouri's hometown of Sheryl Crow. I went to high school with Sheryl. But anyway, they drove the procession from Jonesboro to Kennett, Missouri, which is 60 miles. And it rained. I mean, it poured. It just rained so hard from the time we left the funeral home until we turned the corner in Kennett and started heading to the cemetery. And then it just, I mean, immediately, it's just like you turned the faucet off and it just quit raining and the sun come out.
That's it. That's God talking right there.
I swear, man, I guarantee it. But anyway, thought I'd share that with you. But I mean, it was just amazing the amount of love and the outpouring of support. He had a wife and two little girls, my two little great nieces actually, and the community rallied around and they ended up, paying a bunch of stuff off. And I mean, just the whole thing. It was just great. And so Shelly and the kids didn't ever have to worry about anything. But that was a tough time for me. So, but anyway, I never really got to know you during that time. I was aware of what was going on.
Yeah.
And I do want to say this, that, I have voiced a prayer for you if you believe in prayer,
Yeah.
if people do, but we did. I knew you were struggling through that. And, this is a great community, and I know people get behind everyone. And so, before we get off onto your channel, do you care to kind of, for those that may not know, kind of tell us what you were going through?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know what? It was a really, if I can, I'll tell you kind of how it all happened, because it was really weird how it all went down. So let's fast forward, or let's backtrack to last summer, July, August, September of 2020. Now we're in the midst of the pandemic and we're doing lockdowns and we're doing all this stuff. And at that same time, at least in Los Angeles County or in the Southern California area, we were having a number of civil unrest, protests, different things like that. And so I got hired in 2005 and I worked in the jails and I went on patrol and I worked my way up the ranks, and then I became a detective and so on and so forth. And so I was doing my detective job, which involves investigating crimes, doing search warrants, a lot of, for the lack of a better words, desk work, and then, going to the district attorney and different things like that. But we were reallocated to go out to a lot of these civil unrests and to work in other areas based on the demand of what was going on in the world. So we were doing something with the full riot gear with the helmets and all the vests and all the stuff, which this is a lot of weight on your body and on your spine and stuff like that. So I started to have some pain in my back and my hip. And, that goes along with just normal back pain and stuff like that. And then I started to get sicker and sicker and sicker. And I started to have all the COVID symptoms. I had the fever, the this, the that. And so I went to the doctor and I was like, hey, I think, out doing all this stuff, I think I might've got this. So they give me a test. It's negative. A couple days later, I still have the same symptoms. They're actually getting worse. They give me another test. It's negative. A couple days later, I go back to the doctor. I'm like, hey, it's been like a week. I'm pretty sick. I have a fever and I've had a fever for like a week, blah, 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 blah. They give me another test. It's negative. Some smart urgent care doctor that I don't remember his name. He asked me, he was like, hey, have you ever been on an airplane? Like recently, have you ever been on like a long flight? And I'm like, no, I can't travel. Like I don't have any days off. We're like working these riots and these civil unrest and stuff like that. And he's like, I think that you have a blood clot. Let me give you a blood test to check if you have a blood clot. And I was like, okay, great. Okay, let's do that. So we do that. He comes back and he's like, your blood clot level is super. It's like 9 times the thing. You have to go to the emergency room right now. I think you have blood clot in your lungs or something like that. You need to get the CT scan. You need to do the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, great. So I go to the emergency room with Babe. Babe meets me there, actually. So we're waiting there. They won't let me come inside because they're like, oh, you have all the symptoms, even though you tested negative 3 times in the last week, you still have to wait outside. So they do the scan, and then a doctor and a nurse come out, and they're like, well, I got good news and bad news. 100% you don't have COVID. Your lungs are, we're good on that. You don't have that. He's like, but you have tumors all over the place. And he's like, I'm just an emergency room doctor, but there can only be one thing. You probably need to call another guy tomorrow, like urgently. And I'm like, okay. So a 2 or 3 week period goes by. There's a number of biopsies and different things that go on. I still have the fever. Now I'm running a fever now for 4 weeks, and the fever will not break. There's nothing that will break it. Like I get so sick. I can't walk up my stairs. I can't leave my recliner here. I can't I am on death's doorstep. So finally, after all the biopsies and all the stuff, so now this is like a 3.5 week period from when I first was out working. The doctor Zooms me on Zoom, and he's like, hey, I got to break the news to you, which we kind of already knew the news, but he's like, hey, you have this type, you're stage 4, you have this type of cancer, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, you can go get a second opinion. You can go to City of Hope. You can do whatever you want. However, you have a very limited amount of time. If I was you, I would go to the emergency room tomorrow, check yourself in. I will then call the emergency room, and we're going to kind of backdoor your first round of chemotherapy because we don't have time to wait for the insurance company to approve it. We need to do this like right now. And so that's what I did. And the chemotherapy was 1 week at a time. It was in the hospital 24 hours a day for 1 week at a time. The minute one bag of chemotherapy ran out, they would run in, change the bag, do another bag for 1 week at a time. I would go home for 14 days, super sick. Babe would take care of me. I would go back to the hospital for a week, do a week of chemotherapy. And I did that 9 times. And so I was in the hospital for 9 weeks. Some of it was 6 weeks was chemotherapy. The last 3 weeks was brain chemotherapy because they told me, hey, your cancer is so bad that we're going to fix you 60%. We're going to fix you, but it's going to come back in your brain, and then we're not going to be able to fix you. So the last 3 weeks, we're going to preemptively strike your brain with this brain chemotherapy for the last 3 weeks, which was the 3 times that was horrible. That was some horrific, that was crazy. Yeah. And so I did that. And then when that was all said and done, we did some more scans. And then they said, okay, you're in remission. I think we killed everything. And, the blood work is good and stuff like that. And then I just actually had another scan on Friday, a couple days ago. Today's Sunday. So 2 days ago, I had another scan. And then I have an appointment with my doctor on Tuesday, actually. We're going to discuss that. So that's kind of how it's been going. Wow. But I mean, I'm 900 times better than I was October 26-ish neighborhood is when they diagnosed me. So we're basically 13 months from when I was on death's doorstep. Wow. Yeah. And I got a goatee, I got eyebrows back. Yeah. I'm joking around with you. I mean, so yeah, we're doing much better. We're doing much better. Yes. I have a lot of complications from. I can't feel my fingertips. I can't feel my toes. I can't feel the side of my legs. It fractured my spine. I have a lot of complications from it, but I'm still here joking around with you guys, spending Sunday with you guys and all the folks. So we're good.
That's great. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. We'll certainly keep you lifted up. I know Babe's got some issues too, so we'll keep you guys in our thoughts and prayers. Before I forget here, Steve did answer me. He said a Thanksgiving special, folks, is going to be 1 bird shake, 1 smoke bomb, 1 original, and put Thanksgiving special in the order notes, and he'll throw in a free dessert shake. So appreciate that.
Babe loves that dessert shake. Yeah. She literally takes a piece of sour. There's 2 things she does. 1 on ice cream. 2, you take a toasted piece of sourdough with some warm butter. You put that dessert shake on it. Oh boy, that actually it's really good.
Yeah, Lep's popped in here with us too. So good to have Lep. Got Mike Baker from Baker's Barbecue in here with us. Jamie Max popped in from Scotland. So good to have Jamie with us tonight. Who else have I missed so far? Tracy. Oh gosh, I don't know. But anyway, so guys, you guys in the chat room, you pretty much know the your role, the format of the show. Just be sure if you have any questions for Josh, be sure and put at Mr. Cast Iron. That way it'll highlight it. I'll be able to see it. either that or put 3 or 4 question marks in front of your question. Ask the question, and if you don't mind, leave a couple question marks afterwards. We'll be able to spot that, hopefully. And also, I know Stephen is always our moderator. He pretty much has most of everything in the show notes as far as in the chat room of the channel. We've got Josh with Cooking Cop and Babe tonight. If you've not been over to Josh's channel, be sure and go check him out. Watch some of his videos, leave him a comment and a thumbs up. Be sure and tell everyone that you've seen him over on Mr. Cast Iron's channel. And if you've not yet subscribed, be sure and do so if you like what they're doing. And I know he'll certainly appreciate that. Likewise, if you've not yet given us a thumbs up, we certainly appreciate all the thumbs up we can get on this, and it certainly helps us as well. So, what did I get there? Papa
You know,
Texas.
I think Mr. Cast Iron, I think Babe and I only need about 11 more subscribers to hit 8,000. So you guys might be able to do it for us tonight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, hopefully we can get that going, guys. If y'all have not yet subscribed to them, be sure and do so. Papa Texas says Booger's going to live
8.
What is it?
Just 8 more.
8 more?
No, 8 more.
Who said 8 more?
Josh.
Oh,
just
Josh.
did. It's
You got me messed up here, woman. I don't know. I'm trying to read Papa's his message here. Mr. Cast Iron Booger's going live after this for her birthday. Okay, cool. So, guys, after the show, if you want to pop in to Booger and have a after birthday party, then she'll be going live here in a little bit. So, all right. Well, good deal. Grumpus says he just subbed.
And we've met Grumpus in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh,
He said he just subbed with his other account. So.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Grumpus is fantastic. We saw him on your show. I think it was last week, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Mike Baker just said he just
There's
subbed, so you
another
got a
one.
couple
Appreciate
more
that.
there.
Appreciate that. We literally need now, Babe just told me we need 8 or 9 more, and we're gonna hit
I subbed
8,000.
earlier, but
That's
anyway, we're
amazing.
getting close.
Good
That's
deal.
amazing.
Well, hopefully we
You'll
will
make it.
here shortly. So, what made you decide to start doing YouTube? I know you've been doing this. I think I looked at your the back end of your channel, and it said you've
Oh, it's
been
a
doing this
long
roughly
one.
since 2015 or so. Got like 395 videos or something like that, 1.3 or
silly.
4 million views. So you guys are rocking.
Silliness. Well, I'll tell you what. Why I don't know why. I started, and I think one of our first videos was my kid sliding down a sled and me and Babe on a snowmobile. And then another video is me and Babe on a hike. I think that video is still actually out. And then I was trying to cook more at home because I don't know anything about cooking, and I was 150 pounds heavier. And so I wanted to cook more at home to try and not eat out as much and lose a little bit of weight. And then Babe knew how to cook substantially better than me. And so she started coming in, and then it just happened. It was like a star exploding or something. I don't know. And then we started making these videos, and I feel like, yeah, and like you said, we almost have 400 videos, and we've been doing this years and years and years. And I feel like the reason why there's a lot of reasons why we don't have more subscribers, but in YouTube land, especially if you YouTubers are watching, if you
8,000.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, Babe just announced that we just hit 8,000 because of
All
Mr. Cast Iron.
right. Good deal. Awesome.
Shoot the fireworks off.
Well, that's
I'm going to
amazing.
If I can find them. That's
So-
awesome. Hey, looky there,
There you go.
man.
There we go.
Confetti.
8,000. Rock on. Well, good deal.
Yay.
So if you're a YouTuber, to the YouTubers that are watching, if you niche down and you specialize in, hey, this channel is about fixing toilets, or this channel is about repairing ovens, or this channel is about, air fryers, or this channel is about what, if you stick to a topic, you gain an audience, I think. All my research has shown that if you stick, but we don't. We were all over the road. We were traveling and filming a video. We were doing this and filming a video. Our titles had nothing to do with, and you got to remember, YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world next to Google. Right. So you got to think about what your titles of your videos are that people might want to search for. And I never thought of that. I was just like, partying in Vegas. Well, obviously nobody's searching for that.
Right.
So we have a lot of videos, but a lot of them were just us in living life and stuff like that. And then we kind of started taking it more and more seriously, and we started gaining more subscribers then by that way. But the whole journey was I wanted to learn how to cook more at home. And then the journey kind of morphed into I really am interested in barbecue. I'm interested in cooking with charcoal. I'm interested in different pits and stuff like that. So the journey kind of morphed that way. But then we kind of detour back to we like kitchen gadgets too. And Babe likes to do her recipes in the kitchen and stuff like that too. So we're kind of a cooking channel, but we're kind of all over the road at this point.
Yeah.
With just things that we like. We love outdoor cooking. We love indoor cooking. So,
yeah, good advice, man. And folks, I hope y'all heard that. But yeah, if you're serious about YouTube, you need to kind of pick a topic that you're passionate about or whatever, and niche down on it. In the Kitchen with Karen, a friend of ours out in your neck of the woods, or out in California, in other words. She says she can't stay, but she's at work. But she says to hello everyone, and she'll catch a replay. Brittany and Josh are awesome. So
Bethany. Is her name Bethany?
Bethany and not Brittany, right? Is it Bethany?
Bethany.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
She meant that.
I know she meant that. I know Karen's awesome.
Yeah,
now Booger says, Josh, what food did you grow up eating that you wouldn't eat today as a full-grown Sasquatch?
Well, I'll tell the story, and we've done a video on it against my will. Beef stroganoff. Babe loves it. My mom used to make it all the time. I think beef stroganoff is disgusting. It has mushrooms in it. It has like cream. I do not like beef stroganoff. Babe loves it. We've done a video on it. And we did a video on it with like ribeye steak in it. It was like, and everybody was like, oh my goodness, that's incredible. It's so bad. Beef. I remember my mom making beef stroganoff, and I'm like, no. I have a major issue with beef stroganoff.
Sounds like it.
I always said to people, I'm like, what? How many people in the chat? And I'll ask this to you, Mr. and Mrs. Cast Iron, and how many people in chat? How many people do you go to a restaurant and be like, I'll have the beef stroganoff? I mean, I don't think that is like a thing. I mean, maybe it is. But
well, around here it could be.
I don't know. I haven't ever went and ordered that.
No, I haven't either.
I just have a major problem with beef stroganoff. I used to have a problem with meatloaf. I have now gained to like meatloaf better, that I've found some newer recipes, and I'm okay with. Actually, I want to do a new meatloaf. We did a meatloaf video like years back, and I want to redo it and like upgrade it. That's my second worst, meatloaf. But the first beef stroganoff is no dice on beef.
That's funny right there. Cindy Squirrel Off Grids popped in here, so good to have you with us, Cindy. No doubt about it. Did I miss anything else here?
I'm checking to see if there's any questions.
Papa's got ones that have you ever pulled anybody over and recognized them from YouTube?
No, because you know what was funny is when I was on patrol pulling people over for, all day long pulling people over, I wasn't really in the YouTube game at that point. But what was funny was I was the public information officer, which is the designated person that when there is like an incident, like, hey, we had a car crash or we had a shooting or whatever we had, the person that stands in front of the news media camera that's like, hi, I'm this guy, and I would like to tell you the incident to the news media. I'd like to tell you the facts surrounding this incident. I was that guy. And so I couldn't even go to my local grocery store. They'd be like, hey, I saw you on the news. I saw you on CNN. I saw you on, Good Morning America. Like, I've been on a million. And so because that was my job, to like update people of what was going on with different incidents and stuff like that. So I did get recognized a lot from that. Yeah. But not from YouTube. I wasn't, and our YouTube channel is still, so small compared to, But yeah, back in the day, I did get recognized a lot from being on the TV every day.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
I may butcher this, but Cal Hamalainen is in the house. So good to have Cal with us. No doubt. Papa, he's getting
what's
funny.
What's up, Cal?
Yeah, he said, "What do you call a cow with no legs? That's ground beef, no doubt
True
about
fact.
it." Yeah. So, all right.
I'm not,
Well, good deal, huh?
I'm not seeing any more questions.
You're not
so
seeing any
I'm
more
just making
questions.
sure.
So, well, that's true about the niching down. We were talking about the channel earlier, and you got to get focused. And I think
Oh,
when
what?
when
Never
we
mind. Go
all
ahead.
start out, we're all kind of just piddling with it or whatever. And then once you decide you want to kind of get a little more serious about it or
Right.
whatever, you do kind of start looking at your analytics or whatever and trying to get a little more direction. And you see what your or not your guest, but your your viewers are actually searching for.
Right.
And you can kind of get an idea of what direction your channel's headed, and you can build off of that. And that's certainly what we're doing. We got some changes we're getting ready to make on our channel. We have been making for several months actually, and some you can notice, some you can't. But we'll be talking a little bit more about that hopefully next month. But it's a very interesting animal. I mean, is it something YouTube now? Is there things that you have with YouTube that just aggravates you, or are you pretty much satisfied with the whole format?
Well,
With YouTube?
I mean, I could tell you a lot. I think we've been going at this now. We're coming on probably 5 years.
Yeah.
And I could tell you that I've invested a fair amount of research into YouTube and the game and stuff like that. I remember that when we had 700 subscribers, I still had no idea what we were doing. And it was Papa Texas that gave us a shout out in one of his videos that boosted us over that 1,000 mark that could get us then to the watch hours to get us monetized.
Right.
So, I mean, there's people like that Papa Texas obviously had a way bigger following than us that boosted us to that. So, I mean, I could tell you a lot that I've learned since then, that if I had that information now and I implicated that information from when we started, I think that we would be a lot bigger. So, I mean, of course, a lot. YouTube does what they want to do. You got to think about this. YouTube is a private business.
Right.
They're selling ads to advertisers.
Yeah.
They're giving you a free platform to put your stuff on, and they're offering you a little form of payment for putting your stuff on there if you play by their rules.
Right.
Now, their rules aren't always fair, which I don't think they're fair. I think they censor certain things. I think that they should have more free speech, which I don't. But again, go back to, if this is Josh's company and Mr. Cast Iron comes on here, you got to play by my rules. If you don't like it, then you can leave. So that's kind of how they're doing that.
Yeah.
So, and now and YouTube is an ever evolving animal. Like stuff that they really liked to see from us 2 years ago, they don't like to see from us now. Now they're moving into these shorts, these vertical videos and stuff like that. And I've done a lot of research on it. We've put out a lot of shorts. I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've talked to a lot of high-ranking people on YouTube about it. So you kind of just got to roll with the punches, and you got to just know that if this is going to be your business and you're going to make money off of YouTube, you got to kind of play by their rules and do their things. Luckily, us as a cooking community, I've found, especially through the whole cancer battle, I have found that the cooking community as a whole are fantastic people. So we have that going for us. Great. We have that going for us. Most of the cooking community, 99.9%, we don't talk deep politics. We don't use swear words and stuff like that. Great. We have that going for us too. So we're on the right track already. So now it's just getting people motivated, and people love food. The one thing that bonds us all together as a country and as a world, whether you're whatever you are, people love food. Yeah. Like we could talk about food no matter what language you're in or whatever. Everybody loves food. Right. So we have that going for us too. So we're kind of in a unicorn group that we can move forward onto. It's just finding those hot spots. Especially Thanksgiving's coming. Okay, you got to make those Thanksgiving videos. Turkey, stuffing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Christmas is coming. We got to make those blah, 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 blah. The Super Bowl's coming. We got to make those Super Bowl appetizer videos, blah, 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 blah. And we got to do the YouTube shorts because they like those right now and this and this. So as long as you roll with their punches and stuff like that, you'll be successful. That's what I've learned over a number of years. Yep. So we have a lot going for us. Now, if you were, say, a political commentator or something like that, you got a lot of uphill battle to go, the same direction that us as a cooking community has to go. So
Right.
I think that we have pros and we have cons. So
Yep,
like as in
absolutely.
everything.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Let's see here. Little Eric says, Uncle Mike, how come your American flag is black and white? Okay. Little Eric, if you're still in the chat room, what that is, it should be, it's black and white, but it's got a blue stripe in it. And what that represents is backing the blue is the tag name or tag slogan or whatever, which means it's in support of our first responders, law enforcement, firefighters, and various ones like that. So that's what that's about.
What's funny is actually we just had a comment on our. So we get a number, especially, and this has happened, especially over the last year and a half. We get the anti-police comments and stuff like that, and so somebody left a comment about that, and so I responded and I said, hey, this is the history of the thin blue line flag, and it started in the 1950s and so on and so forth. And so it's interesting. It's interesting people's outlook on things. It's interesting on what people choose to leave comments on and, stuff like that. But I think that, again, that all comes as being a part of the public eye. Mr. and Mrs. Cast Iron, you guys are a part of the public eye too. People might not like, whatever this is or whatever channel, some other channel they might not like, to each their own. And you just got to kind of find your niche and just go down that road. And,
Yeah. Grumpus says, will Josh's next smoker go on his deck or in the kitchen?
I said it's going to take his place in bed.
Uh-oh.
Well, we live in a very tiny home, and our little patio, we always make fun on our YouTube channel. We call it the world's smallest patio because it's very, very small. And we have about as many barbecues and pits as we can fit on it. It's about done. Actually, we had patio furniture, and I forced her to sell the patio furniture because we couldn't have any more room. So literally, and we don't own a pellet smoker. And I've been trying to find a pellet smoker company that wants to work with us because I talk a lot of trash about pellet smokers, but I kind of also want one. So, but we don't have any more room for it, really.
Papa Texas asked if he owns any cast iron.
Yeah, he does. I know he does because I've seen him make a steak.
He's asked several questions, but he's asking.
But yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the cooking things now. I know you. What?
Oh, I'm just. Okay.
What's some of your favorite things to cook with as far as equipment wise?
Well, I'll tell you, when we started our YouTube channel, I got a Lodge cast iron, which I know that if you're deep in the cast iron game, I know Chef Johnny, Texas Barbecue and Cuisine, he has cast iron skillets that are 80 years old plus. That's serious business. I don't have anything like that. We got ours at TJ Maxx 7 years ago, and it is fantastic, and it's good.
And it'll last you a lifetime.
And it'll last me until I'm dead. It is fantastic. When we started in the barbecue game, one of the very first companies that actually gave us a chance that I talked to, we had actually, before even Papa gave us the shout out, we had 700 subscribers. Pit Barrel Cooker somehow took a liking to us and sent us a Pit Barrel Cooker. And I text with the owners of Pit Barrel Cooker on a regular basis. They are a fantastic company. We've cooked 1 million. I have used that thing up and down, side by side. We love Pit Barrel Cooker. So that is one of our pits that we have. Fantastic barrel smoker cooker that's very, very easy to use, especially if you're an amateur or novice in the barbecue community. Very, very easy. Of course, we have the Weber kettle. Now we have the S&S kettle grill, which love that thing. We have the little Oklahoma Joe Highland offset. Babe bought that for me right when I was done with chemo. She went to Lowe's and she got that for me. So we got that little offset smoker. And we got the Ninja Foodie. We got, our first Ninja Foodie, CJ, Cooking with CJ, actually gave us a Ninja Foodie. He was like, I'm upgrading. Here's my old Ninja Foodie. And we had that little kitchen gadget. So that's pretty much our arsenal of stuff. We've just collected it over time, but all of them are so good. And each company I could tell you different stories about. I could tell you positive stories about the companies that we have. I could tell you some other type of stories if you want to get into it with some companies that didn't work with us. And I could tell you some backstories. I could tell you some top secret stories. I could spill the beans on whatever you want.
Well, I know Babe's been cooking on a Blackstone, if I remember
Oh,
right.
there we go. So we had a 22-inch Blackstone. We bought it. We cooked a ton of videos on that thing. It was amazing. Actually, Blackstone does make a good product. When we reached out to Blackstone to try and get like a little discount on a newer Blackstone, some of the things and the way that they corresponded with us was not that friendly. And so we ended up going with the Pit Boss 5-burner griddle. So we have that outside, the Pit Boss 5-burner griddle, which we love. That thing's great. We make videos on that all the time, and we cook on that thing all the time. Even when we're not making videos, that thing's cool. So, I mean, our patio's pretty, for being a tiny little patio, our patio's pretty full. We got a griddle, we got an offset, we got 2 kettles, we got the pit barrel, we got cast iron skillet inside, we got a little Ninja Foodie. Yeah.
Well, now I think I know the answer to this, but which is your favorite to cook on?
I mean, it depends on what if I'm making like steaks or a tri-tip or something that is going to be under an hour or an hour and a half cook, I don't think that you can beat a kettle with the slow and sear, because you could set it up, you can cook, you can shut it down. Your charcoal's not going to all the way burn out, so you can still save it and not waste money. So that's probably, if you're going to be under an hour and a half cook, you got to do it on a kettle, and it's very easy.
Grandpa says somebody needs to get you a cup of coffee. So you're not wound up or anything.
Babe, if you ask Babe what her favorite thing to cook on, it's the griddle. She loves doing burgers, stir fry, all the like Asian foods and stuff like that. We've done a ton of stuff on Babe loves the griddle. Me personally, if I'm like on a weekend, if I'm for my enjoyment and if I want to sit down, have a couple drinks and really put my heart and soul into something, I like the offset or the pit barrel, because they're really long burning things that you can do really long, like an 8-hour pulled pork. You can do like a brisket that's really, really long, stuff like that. I find more enjoyment in that. So it just depends on what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah. Little Eric's got to leave, says he's got to go. His last end of term test is tomorrow. So see you next time. Bye, everyone. Take care, little buddy. We love you. Be good. Do good on your test, and we'll see you
good on the test.
Around. Yeah, absolutely. Daddy Dutch says one thing that he knows for sure that he can do for his church is cook. Last year, they served Thanksgiving dinner to over 725 people in the community. So that's awesome.
That is great.
Yeah. Good feeling, no doubt, I'm sure.
Samantha and Lewis and Dan are in there.
Samantha and Dana's some friends of ours around here, so welcome them. Good to have them with us. Let's see, Tom's popped in, Tom's Food Factory, so good to have Tom with us. Who else did I miss there? What is it?
No, don't put that one up there.
I'm not going to. You got to watch Papa Ted. You got to read his comments before you ever put them up there.
There's a question.
I'm not going to do
that. Me and Papa have known each other now for a long time. I mean, we've been messing around with each other for a long time.
Oh, I know. And if it was, if we were amongst other, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's kind of a family-friendly type show, so I've got to watch what I say and do. So no doubt about it. So anyway, everybody keep it cool. We'll all be cool. But anyway, as far as other channels, I mean, I know everybody in here, you certainly, I'm sure, watch a lot of their channels. But are there other type of channels on YouTube that you enjoy watching, whether they're food or not?
I mean, I watch a bunch. Babe always makes fun of me because I really don't watch television that often.
We don't.
Maybe more of a television with like the soap operas and the whatever you call it shows. That's not really my flavor. I mean, the last show that I was really into was 2.5 Men with Charlie Sheen before they killed off Charlie Sheen.
That's been a
so
while.
I mean, most of my time is spent on YouTube. So I'll watch anything from like anything in current pop culture to cooking channels to
Airplanes landing.
I have an interest. There's people that sit at airports and film the runway of all these big jets go. I've watched a lot of stuff on YouTube. I don't watch I can tell you, if you talk to me about YouTube, I can tell it. Just give me a genre, I could probably speak to you well about what's going on about it. I have a weird infatuation with everything YouTube. I can tell you what the young kids are watching because we have young kids. So I want to know what they're watching. Right. I can tell you what the young kids are watching. I can tell you what the college kids are watching. I can tell you the cooking channels people are watching. I can tell you, I don't know. I'm a weirdo.
Now I'm glad you said that because I'm sure you watch your analytics as well as I do and many others, but you would really be amazed at what age group are most of my viewers, and I'm curious as to what yours are. Before I do that, I'm going to put up here what Daddy Dutch says. Tell Josh I love him even though he's short. So,
Well, I'll tell you what about Daddy Dutch. A couple things. One, Daddy Dutch has an amazing rub. It's called Sweet Heat. He's never actually sent it to me.
Yeah, or me either. We're not picking on him or nothing, but he hadn't sent it to me either.
And he's only sent it to Babe. He's never sent it to me. So, I don't know anything about that. But I have met Kent in person twice. Both times we've stood next to each other, and I've proven my stature. And currently I have a very broken back, but he's trying to use that against me. But obviously I'm a very taller, bolder man. Yeah. But I love Kent. Kent is my brother. He's been with me on YouTube for a long, long time, and we've met him twice, and he's fantastic. I love him.
Yeah, we just had to pick on him a little bit. I was actually a couple months back. We went up to Iowa, and I was hoping I could be able to see and get to meet Kent, but he was quite a few miles away, and we were there for just a short period of time. And
Kent taught me that Iowa is the home of ice cream. Like that's
really?
The national ice cream. That's the home of ice cream.
Really?
I don't know about all that, but
I just work here. I don't know. That's what they tell me.
Hey, getting back to what I was mentioning earlier before we got to picking on Daddy Dutch here a little bit. What do you know roughly what age group you're?
I do. We both currently. Well, we started in the kitchen and we kind of had a lot of females. And then when we pushed harder on barbecue, it switched to males. And currently we're male of late 20s to early 50s.
Yeah.
Is what we're in like I think maybe it's 34 to 51 or 28 to 48 or something. It's in that neighborhood, like 70-30, mostly male.
Yeah.
But I do notice, like if I put out on the Ninja Foodie, which is a fantastic device, if me and Babe put out the next 10 videos, Ninja Foodie, we will shift more in the female category. Yeah. You can move your needle depending on what you're doing. I've definitely noticed that.
Well, there goes the neighborhood. Big Lou Barbecues popped in, so I'm here now, so y'all can begin the program. But so anyway, there goes the neighborhood. No, we love Big Lou just as well, so we're happy you're here, even though you are an hour late. But that's okay. We won't pick on you too bad. But it just really amazes me. Mine's the same way. Mine's 72-28 male to female, and I'm 24 to 34 range on the main group of people that watch, but it's anywhere from 24 to 65 plus actually is fairly even amounts. And so it just kind of amazes me that the biggest majority of the people that, are watching mine, Lou and different ones in the cast iron community, kind of curious about what theirs are too, because, it's just interesting, I guess, to note that, the 24 age group, that's young. I don't know that I was looking into cast iron at 24.
Right. No, I totally agree. But you know what? Another thing that I learned is, and I struggled with this for a number of years, and then somebody finally explained it to me the correct way. If you look at who is watching your videos, subscribers versus non-subscribers, and I always got offended, and I'm like, why is 80% of the people watching my videos not subscribed to my channel? And I was like, I'm like, I have all these subscribers. Why are my people not watching my videos? That's actually a good thing if you think about it in that aspect, because that means that your videos are hitting the search and hitting that, and you're hitting people that don't know about you, and you're potentially making a new customer, for lack of a better words. You're making a new customer for, there are people that have done YouTube 8 years ago and they made 100,000 subscribers, and then say that they stopped for 2 years and they still have 100,000 subscribers. That doesn't mean that those 100,000 people are going to be re-engaging with them.
Right.
If you're constantly attracting new people that are not subscribed to you, that is a very big benefit to your channel.
Yes, it is. And a lot of people don't look at it or may not understand it and know that to be fact. But you're right. Really, about 1% of your viewers or your subscribers is the ones that actually even watch your videos.
Right.
I mean, they're not pushing it out to everyone. So if I was to quit watching what you were doing within a month, they wouldn't be pushing as many of your videos my way. We were talking earlier about the changes that YouTube had made. As a matter of fact, your wife's spending a little money. She popped up here and she kind of donated a little money to us, and so we appreciate the donation there.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not the first time she spends money out of that bank account.
So
that's a constant struggle.
We appreciate that.
A constant struggle. That's also a constant struggle.
Hey, Josh, we appreciate that. I mean, we'll go buy a cup of coffee on that. So awesome. Sister J's Caribbean Cuisine and Lifestyles popped in here, so good to have her as well. But that's a thing about YouTube that changed. You were mentioning the changes earlier. One of the changes is subscribers. A lot of people, you'll hear a lot of people, and at one time it kind of offended me. They said, subscribers are not that important anymore. And now that I fully understand it, I know exactly what they're trying to say. Now, subscribers are very important, but what it was the fact that YouTube is not so focused on the amount of subscribers you have as much as they are the people that are actually involved and are actually watching your stuff. And those are the ones they push it out to more. And I would say this to any YouTuber: subscribers are important in their own right.
Very much. If I have 1 million subscribers and I'm contacting, like, I want a pellet grill, and I want somebody to give me a pellet grill so that I can make videos for them. If I have 1 million subscribers, I have a lot more power to email them and be like, I have 1 million subscribers. You need to give me a pellet grill. That's great, but that's not making me money. Now, if I have a video and I have 100 subscribers, but I have one video that has 1 million views and I'm getting paid for that, that's money in my pocket. Those views are substantially more cha-ching in my pocket than the subscribers. So it's your power ranking that you could talk to people. It's like your resume that you could talk to people, or the actual physical money in your pocket. That's the difference between views and subscribers. And that's kind of how I explain it to people.
Yeah. Big Lou said he gave you a shout out today as a thanks for the fire cups.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we've been doing Tiger McCool. You know what's funny is Tommy at the backyard. This is how YouTube works. We're all a community. And Tommy at the backyard barbecue, he recommended us to Fire Cups. Fire Cups sent us Fire Cups. We use Fire Cups in the video. Now other people are using Fire Cups in the video, and that's how it just goes. Like, everybody, we all, you know what? Even if we don't know each other, we all kind of know each other. We all talk to each other. It's a really big, good community. And I'll tell you what, during my whole chemotherapy thing, like, Mr. Homeowner did 2 12-hour live streams raising money for us. Yeah. And going live 12 hours, like, we go live a lot. Going live for 12 hours is not fun. That's not a good time.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we've been here almost an hour. Are you able to stay with us for a little while?
Oh, absolutely.
We haven't even done a giveaway. We need to do a giveaway. So everybody here in the chat room, be sure and Oh, let's do hashtag cop, C-O-P, hashtag cop.
Hashtag
If
cop.
if you'll put hashtag cop in the chat room here, that'll enter you into the drawing, and we'll do a drawing here in just a little bit. It's going to be a Thanksgiving package that Uncle Steve so graciously is going to donate. So
how do you guys, I always like to learn from people. How do you, because we do drawings. Actually, we got a drawing going right now. Actually, I could if that's okay with you guys, I could advertise that, but I'm interested to know. So when people put hashtag cop in the chat, do you guys look back through the chat and pick somebody, or how exactly does that work?
StreamYard actually has a tool that you can do that. It'll automatically, and I'll pull it up here shortly.
Well,
I'll go ahead. I'll just go ahead and share that now.
That's interesting. I learn something every day.
Yeah, and when the show's over and we get off here, I'll talk to you a little bit more about that, where you can do that.
Yeah, but, no, I would love to know that.
Yeah, it just pulls up. It just pulls up like that right there. It's a giveaway tool.
I've used StreamYard. I've never seen that. That is really cool.
And depending on how many programs you've got entered in, you just click on that giveaway tool and you click the broadcast. Like I only have you in it at this time, so I click on that show, and then I'll just type in hashtag COP, and it doesn't matter if it's all caps or if it's lowercase, either one, it doesn't matter. And once we get in, we'll give them a few minutes here before we do
really neat. That is really neat.
Yeah,
I was quite impressed with you doing that.
Well, thank you. Hey, my wife was even impressed with me. How about
that? That's
I might even get a hug out of this deal before it's over with.
Like we're running a giveaway right now. So we put out a video a while, like 2 weeks ago. It's a Postal Barbecue, Jaden Postal. He's a YouTuber that has. So we did some ribeye steaks. And in the middle of the video, if you watch the whole video, in the middle of the video, this is top secret information. In the middle of the video, we talked about things you had to do to enter this giveaway. And the giveaway is really good. One, you win like $150 ThermoWorks thermometer, and two, you win a bag of whatever fuel you choose from Jealous Devil, which is $50 or $60. So it's over $200 worth of stuff that you're getting. But the only way I've known how to do a giveaway is to like post that video and then say, hey, leave a comment that says blah, 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 blah. And then I'll go back and use the random comment picker later and do stuff like that. So that's how I've done the giveaway before.
Yeah. Well, if you're using StreamYard like this, man, you can do it live right here on the show. Matter of fact, I think we just about got everybody in here now. Daddy Dutch, he said he's hashtag 6'2" cop. So
Daddy Dutch isn't a cop, but he is 6'2". I'm 6'5".
Now is Mary Ann your mama? She said hashtag cop's mom. So
that's mama. That's mama right there.
Mama's in the house. I love this, man. This is awesome.
We love it when mamas are there. Yeah, that's great.
That is awesome, no doubt about it. Well, I'll tell you what, I think we've probably given everybody plenty of time. If you haven't, be sure and put hashtag cop in the chat room here.
Let me just give Mama a quick. Mama, you got to put hashtag and cop and no spaces in between, Mama, or the program won't pick it up. Hashtag COP, no spaces.
Give her time.
Like I thought there was a space, you're not going to be counted.
Yeah. I'm glad you caught that. I seen that and it just didn't register with me. But yeah, hashtag no spaces. So we'll let Mama get that in there, and so
maybe she can win that. For
her boy. And so there's a little bit of delay.
there
she is.
There we go.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do that. This is for Uncle Steve's Thanksgiving shake giveaway. So here we go. We're going to start collecting. So hashtag
I'll tell you what, Uncle
17
Steve,
entries. So
if you guys are looking for a Christmas gift, stocking stuffers, anything for anybody, Uncle Steve's products are not that expensive. That's great. Every single person that we've given out a ton of Uncle Steve's to people. There is, and literally that entire hospital got Uncle Steve's up and down 5 floors. There is not one person that did not come to me and been like, that's pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yes.
Well, keep pushing it, man. Keep selling it. We've done gained 2 more since you was talking. So
I have nothing but positive things to say about Uncle Steve. Yes. Uncle Steve is the man. And we've met him. I've given him a hug. He has told me I'm welcome at his house anytime. He is incredible. I love him. And I don't know what he did. I wish I did what he did because his product is jamming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Well, let's give these away. We got 18 entries here. Hashtag cop. Y'all ready? Let's do the drawing. Here we go. All right. Who's it going to be tonight? Let's see. All right. Wow, Lana, Pensive
Lana.
Cooking. So
Cooking.
Yeah, Pensive Cooking, Lana. We interviewed her a good while back. So, Uncle Steve, I'll send you her information here shortly or in the morning sometime. But Lana, Pensive Cooking has won the Thanksgiving giveaway. So good deal. I didn't even.
Is Pensive Cooking still in the chat? Congratulations.
She may be. Let me give her some confetti too. Hey, look at there. There's the winner. All right. Good deal. Okay. Well, let me stop the share here and we'll get back to the show. But, we really haven't even dug into this very much. But, we were talking about, you brought it up, matter of fact. And so I kind of want to touch base on that a little bit more. Talking about niching down and different things like that. So do you, now that you understand that a little bit better, or do you have certain goals like short-term or long-term goals that you're looking at trying to achieve here in the near future?
That's a struggle that we face all the time because I love to do the barbecue stuff. And like we have a good relationship with Jealous Devil Charcoal. We have our pits that we love outside and stuff like that. Babe loves to do the Ninja Foodie stuff inside and the inside stuff. And so I feel like, honestly, well, there's a couple reasons why I can tell you why our growth is not like it should be, but we're having fun. So there's a combination between making money, running it as a business, having fun, having a fun hobby, and using it as like your mental health and having it like being a stress reliever and stuff like that. So we're kind of caught in that web of all of those things. So, I mean, our goal that we set when I was in the hospital in January, I set a goal and I was like, this year, 2021, by New Year's Eve of 2021, I just want to have 10,000 subscribers. And we just hit 8,000 subscribers on your show right now. So we need 2,000 more subscribers in the next 40 days. Are we going to get there?
Possibly.
Possibly.
I mean, it's possible.
Anything's possible. But I mean, that's what if you want me to tell you how to make YouTube a hardcore business and niche down and make it, I could literally sit here and be like, you got to do this, this, and this, and that'll be a business.
Yeah.
But if you want to have fun on YouTube, I can tell you how to do that too. So we're a cross between fun and business.
Trying to make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve,
I mean, a lot of people, like we still go live like on a lot of Tuesdays. We do like a lot of Taco Tuesdays. A lot of people say don't go live, and if you do go live, put it immediately, delete it when you're done with the live. We leave our lives up, and they say that hurts your channel. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it does. I don't know. Literally, I'm in the crosshairs of having fun in a business.
Yeah.
But I love the community and I love the people surrounding us in the community. And that's what really is important to me. So I kind of just roll down that road. So,
yeah. Steve's going to call it a night. Dutchie Cooking. It's 1:00 in the morning there in Great Britain. So, Steve, we appreciate you, buddy. Also, he asked me to see if you would be interested in subscribing to his new channel. It's Cast Iron Wednesday is the name of it.
Absolutely.
They, since you're cooking in cast iron and everything, anytime you make a video with cast iron, just be sure and put hashtag Cast Iron Wednesday, and he'll add it to the playlist. There's many of us that are part of that.
That's super cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So good deal. Well, I'm kind of in the same boat you are. I'm certainly trying to, get in that direction. Everybody seems to want to get to the monetization level of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Well, once you do that, then it opens up a whole nother avenue for you, and you've got to learn how to either dabble with it or get serious about it. And some people dabble and some people want to get serious about it, but yet you still want to leave that same level of community that you've always had and everything. And I guess I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag, but I'll tell you, you know, I think the live streams, what hurts you about the live streams is the amount of views versus the amount of time, the average view duration, and that's what pulls it down.
I have heard that argument before, but I can also rebut that argument by saying I have a live stream that Babe and I did on our Blackstone 3 years ago, and I just got a comment 1 hour ago on that live stream, and it has thousands of views. So I don't know that that's a valid argument. In some cases, yes, I do agree that it is. I just don't know. I just don't know that there's hardcore evidence on that because a lot of our live streams still get action.
I get comments on ours too as well. Yeah. No doubt about it. Certainly do. Hey, you were talking about earlier too, talking about shorts. How's that working out for you doing shorts?
Well, I could say I got a lot of information about shorts. So YouTube shorts are vertical videos. They are 59 seconds or less. The reason why YouTube is doing this is YouTube is trying to go against TikTok, which TikTok is probably one of the, if not the most highest viewed social media app currently. The problem with YouTube Shorts is you don't get paid. They claim that there is a creator fund that will monetize you. I've heard you have to put out more than 20 a month and then you get paid. I've heard that you have to be in a certain area and you get. I have never been paid. We have a short right now that has 250,000 views and we've made $1. That's how much. But on the 250,000 views short, we've also gained 600 subscribers. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But that makes YouTube happy. And since we started doing shorts, we have gotten personal emails from YouTube that have said, hey, we see you're doing shorts and we would love to help you. And you should join these like Zoom links and talk with us more and stuff like that. So you got it. Again, we go back to what we talked about earlier. We have to make the boss happy. And the boss is the platform that is giving you the opportunity to even do anything. And I could argue both sides. I can argue the side that people that are coming and shorts. If you don't know shorts, if you have YouTube on your phone, you click on shorts on the YouTube application and you just swipe up. So people that are watching those quick videos might not be interested in your long form content. So if they're subscribing to you and then they see that you're doing that long form content, they might get pissed off and unsubscribe.
Yeah.
But I'll just tell you, Mike, I could argue, we could talk about this for an hour, but I'll just argue this point. We do a lot of shorts because that's what YouTube wants now. We have friends that have very, very, very big YouTube channels that have people. Once you get to 1 million plus subscribers, YouTube, you have like a phone number. You could like call them and be like, hey, you're like at that level. Once you have 1 million plus subscribers. And those people have had conversations with YouTube that says, hey, can you please do shorts? We really want shorts. So obviously YouTube, that's their thing right now. And remember I said it revolves year after year after year.
Yeah.
So we've put out those shorts. We've gained a lot of subscribers from those shorts. Have we made money from them? No, we haven't made any money from them. But we've gained subscribers.
Right. And
subscribers potentially would look at our other videos and then maybe take a liking to us, or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll hate us. Who knows? Shorts go so fast that we've also gotten a lot of nasty comments. Oh, we don't like you. You're a cop. Oh, thin blue line. You know, that's disrespectful and stuff like that. So you can take. I can argue 50% of the positive, and I could argue 50% of the negative. You take it whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that's the short story of shorts.
Kent's asking, did you get a package from him this week?
We have not received a package from him this week. Kent has actually never actually mailed me any sweet heat rub ever in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, me either. We're on the list though, right? I got to eat, so I film what I eat. Steven
Steven
says.
says.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
You know, talking about that, how do you come up with what you want to film?
I just asked, babe.
Yeah, she tells you. Yeah.
Well, you know
Well,
what?
you know,
If
that's
we were-
kind of like me. You know, I wear the pants in this family, but Teresa just tells me which ones to
That's
put
right.
on, right? So,
if we were smarter, we would be like, oh, Thanksgiving's coming up. We should do stuffing and
Yeah.
yams and turkey and that. But we literally the stuff we just filmed a chicken pot pie. Like why? I don't know why we do what we do. I literally, and I'm like, babe, or the other option is I'm like, hey, this ribeye steak is on sale at the market. That's actually cheap, which food is not cheap these days.
yeah, really.
Can you please buy this ribeye steak? And not only do I want to eat it, I'll
Yeah.
make a video on it. So that's probably also not the best avenue to grow your channel. You
Yeah.
should probably go with the flow of the world, but
What's popular?
Well, I got to ask you a personal question here. I know that you and Babe work together on your videos, and Teresa and I do some. But do you guys ever get into kind of any little heated discussions about how to do or what to do on a video? I mean, come on, let's be honest now. It's just us. Nobody's listening, Josh. I'm just asking you, just me and you. You know,
We have a
just
video
man to man.
where I said, "Welcome back to Josh is a Jerk."
yeah, we actually have a video that we put out that she says, "Hello and welcome back to Josh is a Jerk."
Oh, there you go. That's great.
Oh, that's funny right there, man.
Argue over what to make. I think
We don't argue over what to make. We argue during the making process.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Because I do most of the filming. She does most of the
and
cooking.
talking. You love to talk.
And I love that. I love it. Literally, she's pointed her finger at me like 5 times during this live, and she's like, "You need to shut up." And I'm like, I don't even think I'm talking too much. And
I
she's like,
love
We have to do
yeah. Literally, like 5 times during this live. If you're rewatching this live, she's told me to shut up like 5 times.
Oh, that is so funny. Kent says, Babe is the brains, Babe is the cook, and Babe tells Josh how to edit. Josh is a gray face we see on the screen.
No, and then we fight afterwards because I'm like, okay, we have the video filmed. Thank goodness it's done. And I'm like editing it. And I'm like, hey, can you what do you think about this edit? And she's like, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna post this. And she's like, okay. I'm like, what do you think about this thumbnail? And she's like, I don't care. And then I'm like, hey, can you answer some of the YouTube comments? And she's like,
What?
and I'm like, so what do you do? And she's like,
Wait.
I'm the cook.
Do that face again.
Yeah. Teresa wants to know how she does that. How
How's
she
that
does
face go again?
Yeah.
How's that face go again?
Yeah, literally. I'm like, hey, can you answer the YouTube comments? And she's like,
There you go.
and I'm like,
that's
so
classic.
I literally, and I'm like, babe, what do you do for our channel? And she's like, I'm the cook.
Yeah.
I'm a
She's
star.
the babe.
She's the babe,
She's the
man.
babe.
That's right. Absolutely. So good to have Bobby with us. Good to see you. Glad you
I'm
popped
like-
in here.
And I'm
Well,
like,
what do
so
you-
I'll film, I'll edit, I'll taste, I'll answer
And
comments.
I'll cook and I'll clean.
Yeah, and
Do laundry.
yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, I just work here.
Yeah, I know the feeling, you know. Teresa will say something like, can you be any more messier? Or something like that, You get everything in the whole kitchen messy. So.
But like
Yeah.
when we're filming, I'm like, hey, you need to like talk about this, and she's like, I know what I need to talk about. So,
I love this, man. This is
because
awesome.
I'm thinking because it's a different, and you guys probably know this, it's a different process in your head when you're editing it. I'm like, okay, well, when I'm editing it, I know that you have to like show this, you have to say like this, like to explain to people like how it's going. It's one thing if you're just like it's done. Like
I think Grumpus may be insinuating you need to change your title to the Cooking Babe and Cop.
I agree. We're back to washing babe.
oh, let me tell you. Do you want to hear the backstory on that? When we first started, our name was Josh and Babe. And then we changed it. Somebody that works in the media, but like I said, I was doing media stuff for my department. Yeah. Somebody in the media was like, hey, you guys would gain a lot more traction. This is back when people liked the cops. They were like, hey, you should change it to the Cooking Cop and Babe. That would be like your little niche and people would like think it's cool and blah, 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 blah. So we have t-shirts, we have stickers, we have merch, we have pans, we have, I could sell you a million things. I ain't changing the name now. Like really. that ship has sailed. But people have said, "Oh, well, she cooks and you just stand there," or, and I'm like, I don't care at this point. The ship has sailed. I have stickers. The stickers aren't changing.
The stickers.
Look at the sticker behind you. Look at the sticker behind you.
Yeah, we've got one. That's funny right there. Well, what are you guys using to record with? I mean, I listened to several of your videos, and you guys, I mean, your audio is awesome between both of you while you're both working there on a video. So what are you guys using to record? And tell me about your external mics.
Well, back in the hot years, we used a cell phone. And that's what I have to say to anybody that wants to get into YouTube. You can do it with a cell phone. Do it, just post something. That's what I have to say, first of all. Second of all, we transitioned into a Canon with an external Rode microphone on top. Yeah. We took it to Las Vegas. It got stolen out of our hotel room. We also have a video on that. We have a video detailing the whole theft. Then we went back to our cell phone because we couldn't afford another camera. Now we have a Sony ZV-1 with a Rode external microphone on the top. Yeah. And that's what and it films in 4K. It's not the best 4K camera that you want, but I mean, our videos are pretty close up and our cooks are on like a kind of a tripod. So YouTube also gives a little more love to 4K. Yeah, because people also watch YouTube on desktops and TVs now and stuff like that. So right now we're using the Sony ZV-1, which is about $800 camera, and you can just use that with nothing else, and it'll be rad. It'll be awesome. But we spent the additional about $80 and bought a Rode external microphone on top of it. So that's what we're using right now.
Yeah, I like Rode. I use the Rode Go wireless. On mine, but Papa Texas says, how many edited videos do you put out a month?
We've been doing about two or three a week. Wow. So we've been over 10 a month lately. I mean, we're about to hit 400 videos on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, 395 when I looked at it this afternoon.
Yeah, we have a fair amount.
Big Lou says you mentioned pot pie, and he's eating a turkey pot pie right now. So,
well, we're gonna put out a chicken pot pie in the Ninja Foodie. This is breaking news that nobody knows about. Yeah. I haven't even edited it yet, but it's gonna come out in a little bit, like in about a week or so. I gotta get around.
What's your favorite food to cook?
I like barbecue. I personally like doing long cooks. I like pulled porks. I like briskets. I like, chuck roast, pulled beef, like a really, really long cooks. I mean, a steak, like a ribeye steak, that's fun. Or a tri-tip, that's fun, but it's very, very quick. What's your favorite?
My favorite to cook, I love cooking out on the griddle. I like doing the stir fry.
Babe loves on the griddle, like a Asian stir fry, like the noodles and the chow mein, and like you got a little steak, a little chicken, a little shrimp, like the noodles, the broccoli, the carrots, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, since you're an officer, I got to ask you this: if you were on death row, what would be your last meal? What would you do for your last meal?
Oh, I'd probably do something ridiculously expensive. I'd probably find the most expensive steakhouse. And I could argue steakhouse nonsense with you all day long about how it's overpriced and stuff like that. But like a big old porterhouse with the potatoes and the macaroni and the broccoli and the sides. And we got to have like a whiskey bourbon cocktail with it, like an old fashioned and stuff like that. I mean, that is very good. But I'll tell you what, one of our last videos we put out, we pretty much thrashed a Las Vegas steakhouse that we went to and spent a lot of money on a steak, and they screwed it up. And then the premise of the video that we put out was, hey, we went to Las Vegas. We spent X number of dollars on the steak. Well, we bought this steak from this company that costs half the cost. Let me show you how to make it on the kettle. And it came out fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
well, Teresa says I make a better steak than a lot of the steakhouses we go to. So I'm just wondering if Babe would agree with that for you.
He does 100%. A steak.
You're the best. I will go over your steaks over a steakhouse.
A steak. I'll tell you the one thing that has really ruined me on YouTube is I used to love going to steakhouses. That was let's get dressed up, nice shirt, let's go to steakhouse and let's spend $100 on a steak and have a good cocktail and a steak and stuff like that. I'll tell you what, none of those steakhouse. If you know what you're doing on a basic charcoal barbecue, you can blow any steakhouse. I'll put 5-star New York, Los Angeles, Vegas. You can blow those steakhouses out of the water with salt, pepper, garlic, charcoal barbecue. Call it a day. That's it.
You mean you don't go to restaurants and Mary Ann says stroganoff. You don't go get stroganoff? No?
Nobody on earth orders beef stroganoff at a restaurant. That's not a thing. It's not even on the menu. And when we put out that video, we had one comment and he was like, excuse me, I order beef stroganoff all the time at the restaurant. No, nobody does that. Maybe at Jack's Diner at the truck stop. No.
Mom.
Oh, man. That's funny. Right,
literally, maybe if you're at a truck stop in Kansas, you might get a stroganoff, but nobody goes to a legitimate big city restaurant and it's like, you know what? This sounds really good to me tonight is a beef stroganoff. Nobody says that.
Hey, how do you really feel about stroganoff? I'm just kind of curious.
It's gross. I mean, mushrooms are gross, but it's really gross.
I mean, surely if you're going to thrash a Las Vegas restaurant, you got to thrash stroganoff somewhere. You got to make that video.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I just can't believe you haven't made that yet.
Mom.
I'm in Las Vegas at one of the greatest hotels on the West Coast. Yeah. Like, this is the greatest thing in the world. And I'm so hungry. And I have $500 in my hand. I just won blackjack. Well, I want the best meal in the world. I'm going to have the best drinks in the best. I'm going to order beef stroganoff. No, you're not. Stop.
Well, I hate to break this to you, I mean, I know Mom loves you, but she's got to go. Kevin Costner comes before Josh does, so she got to go watch Yellowstone.
She's dumping her son.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Mom used to like Tom Elliott. Is that his name? Tom Elliott?
No,
Sam
Elliott. Sam Elliott.
Sam
Elliott.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott. But now it's Kevin Costner.
I know, man. People are just head over heels over that show. And we watch it some too,
I mean, let's not lie. We're going to watch it as soon as this is done too.
Well, we won't keep you much longer. We're an hour and a half into this, man. I could talk to you for hours and hours. This has really been a blast. But, I have so many questions that I ain't even got on first page yet. I don't think. That's funny right there. Let me just ask you 2 or 3 more questions and we will call it a night. But
you got it.
What's one thing? I mean, you guys are very interesting and unique and we love you and everything. But what's one thing that no one knows about you or that would ever suspect or believe?
That Babe wants to strangle me on a daily basis.
Yeah, well, I mean, they knew that when you said you were married. I mean, that's just the way that goes, And Teresa wants to strangle me about every day. So
we have a very interesting dynamic. So Babe is from, and a lot of people don't understand California. California is big. The only people that understand big is Texas. Texas is a gigantic state.
Yeah.
California is a gigantic state. It takes a very long time to drive across California.
Yeah.
It's not like driving through Nevada or New Mexico. California it is a process to drive through California. It's a process to drive through Texas. Babe is from Northern California. She has children in Northern California. I have a child down here. So we've worked over the last 6-7 years working back and forth through California. And you might say, oh, you're in the same state. That's fine and stuff. No. This is like 7, 8, 9 hour drives back and forth. Like this is like a big piece of land. A lot of people in other states don't understand like how this is like a major ordeal. And
Yeah.
we've made it work over,
Because I drive. Well, you didn't tell him that I've driven back and forth every week
Hmm.
for 6 years.
Babe has done most of the work, and she gets all the
That's not what
credit.
I'm saying that I drive up and down California every Monday.
Craig says you ought to try driving through Rhode Island,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you know what is funny is, so we being from California, I always thought that California is a bit, I understood how big California was, but I didn't think any other state was. When we visited Texas, when I first met Kent and proved to him how tall I am and how short he was, we realized how big Texas is. Just as big. You go across all of Texas is a big state too. Like it is a process to get across all of Texas.
Yeah,
so
no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Well, hey, another one of my last few questions here. Yeah, Dutch, Daddy Dutch says, "Babe's 5 foot tall, and Josh is only 14 inches taller." If you were to win the lottery, what would you do with the earnings?
Part 2.
That's a good question. Well, I mean, you probably got to be smart if you win the lottery. You got to buy. You can't go out and buy like a Lamborghini or something like that because that's obviously a depreciating asset. You got to buy like a nice house, but you got to also account for the property taxes and stuff like that. So you got to put some money aside for that. Maintenance and stuff like when the water heater blows up and all that stuff. You got to buy a car of some flavor, not probably something wild, but Babe would buy a wild, expensive car. I'd buy a car of whatever. Like
I would too. I'm with Babe.
Yeah. You probably would have to have some of that in investments and savings because that money ain't going to last forever. Mm-hmm. And then, you probably have to, ration off a little percentage of it to go do your fantasy and go buck wild and go to Vegas and have the biggest room and have, porterhouse steaks flying at your face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
no doubt about it. Well,
you got to save a little bit for the kids, and I don't know. You got to probably distribute it. Have a little bit of fun, have a little bit of sense, and I don't know, something like that. That's not the answer that is exciting, sexy. I understand that.
I love it. No doubt about it. What did I miss?
Steven says we need.
Yeah, Steven says we need a hashtag. We need to bring back the Cooking Cop and Babe for part 2.
Yeah,
we'll Babe's not even here. If she was here, she'd be.
We'll have to do,
We're gonna have to do that.
All right, one more quick question I got that's on my mind. If you could have supper or dinner, whichever one you call it, with anyone, past or present, who would that be?
I mean, in the food world, I would
anything.
If you could have dinner or supper with anyone,
I would like to have a straight sit, but I don't want cameras. I want to talk like a real person with Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, wow.
But I mean, I don't want to if there's cameras, then obviously everybody has to play the part. I don't want to do all that. Secondary, I would like to also sit down with no cameras and with Bob Saget. I like Bob Saget. And when I was in the hospital, not only did Bob Saget send me a video, he texted me a video.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
But he also FaceTimed me.
Wow.
And he was super cool.
That's neat.
And I mean, I told him, I was like, hey, the FaceTime was recorded through this thing. And I was like, hey, can I post this on my YouTube? And he was like, yeah, I don't care, whatever you want to do. But he was really, really cool. Bob Saget was really, really cool. And Bob Saget's funny because he's a comedian that obviously he was on Full House and he plays the wholesome part, but his comedy show is kind of raunchy and stuff like that. So, and he's very funny. And so, but yeah, Bob Saget was super nice. When I was going through the whole chemo thing, he was very, very, very nice.
Yeah.
But I would be down to have dinner with Gordon Ramsay and chat with him off camera and be like, okay, I understand that you have a Michelin star and stuff like that, but what does that actually mean? And what is your okay, how does it take to get to a Michelin star? There's a lot of people that can saute onions and make this and that and blah 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 blah. What level does it take to elevate to that level type of thing? Yeah. I'm interested in that.
That's
So,
cool. That's interesting.
yeah.
That just brings me back. I don't know, you mentioned that he FaceTimed you and different things during that difficult time. But this question, I know you won't have a lot, probably won't have a lot thought to give us an answer real quick on this. But what are you most grateful for in life?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, when I and this is hard, and I've discussed this in great detail with Babe. They say there's studies and all these psychologists and doctors and everything like that. They say that a police officer that's been on patrol for 1 year, you pull people over, you go to calls for service, and you do all this different stuff. You do that for 1 year, you have seen what a normal citizen that is not a police officer, you've seen what they have seen in their lifetime. You've seen that in 1 year. I worked patrol for 10 years. So theoretically, based on these studies, I have seen what a normal human being in this country has seen. I've seen 10 lifetimes of stuff.
Wow.
And there's not fun stuff in the world. There's despicable stuff in the world.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, when I got diagnosed, you really learn who's who in the zoo. There are people, especially in the YouTube community, there are people that I don't know. I know them on YouTube. I know their name. I subscribe to their channel. They subscribe to mine. We exchange comments. Hey, good video, blah, 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 blah. That went out of their way and bent over backwards for me and literally donated their entire heart to me. And that changed my life.
Yeah.
That was
awesome.
fantastic. On the flip side of that, there's also people that I knew that I thought were going to really be there for me that really weren't there for me.
Right.
And that was tough. That was a tough pill to swallow. And I've swallowed a lot of tough pills. I've seen a lot of disgusting things that nobody should see. But that's really sad when you count on somebody and you think that they're your thing and they aren't there for you. So I don't know. There are good people in the world. And I feel like people don't realize that there are really good people in the world.
Yeah.
There really are good people in the world. And they don't
yeah.
need to know you. They don't need to shake hands with you and
Right.
hug you physically. There are literally people that have done a ton for me and Babe that we don't physically know. We know them virtually.
Yeah.
But so it really gave me a new perspective that I didn't have after 10 years, after 10 lifetimes. Studies say that after 10 lifetimes, I didn't have that perspective that I have now. So it's very humbling and very interesting to me. That's
great.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, you've certainly been a great sport, and we've enjoyed having you here with us. And tonight's show was sponsored by Uncle Steve's Shake and also How to YouTube Right. Stephen has got all the information in here as far as your channels are concerned. And, if you don't mind us asking, what is the best way for our group to follow you?
Well, we have an Instagram and it's at Josh_and_Babe. That was our original YouTube name, Josh and Babe. Babe's very angry that that's not currently the name. Yeah. It's Josh and Babe on Instagram. You can literally Google Josh and Babe and we'll come up. Or because if you've done YouTube a long time, you can Google it and you're just there. Yeah. Or, our YouTube channel name is The Cooking Cop and Babe. We have a Twitter, we have a TikTok, we have everything. Yeah. I don't know. We're all
TikTok to Instagram.
We're all over the place. If you want to get political and sassy, my Instagram is Cooking Cop 1, but don't come there if you're faint of heart because I get a little mouthy, if you will. If you want to just talk about food, it's Josh_and_Babe. If you want to if you want me to get sassy about stuff, like when people leave us sassy comments or different things, and I have a little private Instagram that we do stuff. Yeah. And so it's it's so funny because we work now, I mean, we're not a big YouTube channel by any means. We're a very humble, small YouTube channel, but we have companies that like Pit Barrel Cooker, amazing company and stuff like that. You can't put companies in that position to be like, hey, we're going to latch onto you if you're going to mouth off over here.
Right.
You know, they're in the business to make business too. And Pit Barrel, I give credit to Pit Barrel because they give law enforcement, military, first responder discounts. They have set their path where they're going. And I appreciate that and I love that.
Yeah.
Some other companies just want to be in business for, business, which I appreciate that too. Obviously, the purpose of being in business is to make money. And then there's some other businesses that are in the purpose to, speak their agenda, which everybody, to each their own and to each their own. And that's what I say. Everybody can do whatever you want to do. That's why we live in the greatest country on earth.
Absolutely.
You do whatever you want to do and you like whoever you want to like. And that's that. And call it a day. And there we go. Yeah,
good deal. Well, we certainly appreciate that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you short.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I was just going to say, but food brings us all together. And
it sure does. And this is a great community, no doubt about it. On that note, before we go, is there anything that you would like to say to everyone in the chat room and certainly to your subscribers before we call it a night?
Yes. Normally, Babe would be right here next to me. She had surgery a little while ago. She doesn't feel good. She's going to have another surgery again. But if you watch our channel, you can see Babe and me harassing her on every video. We almost have 400 videos of me harassing her. So that's right, Babe?
That's right, Babe.
That's right.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, once again, we certainly appreciate you being a great sport. Folks, everyone in the chat room, we appreciate you guys being here with us faithfully every week and certainly appreciate that. And next week, we've got Anna with Cooking the Books. So
nice.
looking forward to that. And we appreciate you guys. So Mr. Cast Iron, Mrs. Cast Iron, from Josh and the Cooking Cop and Babe, we just want to say good night. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.